Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Great athletes. Thank you very much. It's a real honor to be with stars. I like being with stars. I like being with winners. You're winners like nobody. Thank you very much. Fantastic. It's fantastic. Today we're truly honored to welcome to the White House perhaps the greatest group of Winter Olympians in American history. At the 2026 Olympic Games, Team USA won more gold medals than any American Winter Olympic team has ever won before. And what an amazing achievement. Not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty good, isn't it, huh? We had some good teams, too. We're also honored to be joined by many of the members of the U.S. Paralympic team who are fantastic. I watched so much of that and showed unbelievable strength and persistence and skill, and brought home an incredible 13 Paralympic gold medals to America. Congratulations. That's a lot of medals. It's a record. That's a record. Along with the athletes, I want to thank the Team USA coaches and staff members who are here today, as well as CEO of the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committees, Sarah Hirschland. Sarah, wherever you may be, thank you. Please stand up. Great. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. Treasurer of the United States, and this is a very good friend of mine. Where's Brandon? Brandon Beach. That's a good position. Treasurer. Think of that, Treasurer of the United States of America. That's good. He controls a lot of money. And the Director of the United States Mint, Paul Hollis. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Great job. So last February, these incredible Olympians traveled to northern Italy, and they returned home to America wearing 9 bronze medals, 12 silver medals, and a record 12 Winter Olympic golds. Nothing like that. That was the all-time record. These men and women sacrifice years of their lives and countless early mornings to be the best in the world. That's right. I guess you get up early in the morning, don't you? I remember those days, but I didn't do it as well as you. Not quite. It's really something, and they were early mornings, and they did it for the highest privilege in all of sports, wearing the red, white, and blue while representing those 3 proud letters on their uniform. It's called USA, and that's what you do. Among the great medalists with us this evening is one of those who helped bring home the team figure skating gold, Danny O'Shea. Where's Danny O'Shea? Where's Danny? Where's Danny? Not bad, Danny. That's pretty good. I watched that one. Great going, Danny. You look better in person if you want to know. When it mattered most, Danny skated the best he has ever skated. Would you say that was the best you've ever? The best. You're never going to do it again. Are you going to do it again? You'll do it again. Do it again. That's great. Yeah, but he said it was the best he ever skated, and other people too in his entire life, and his performance helped the U.S. edge out Japan, who's a very great team, in the team event by a single point, 69-68. And I want to just say again, because I watched that, Danny, well done, and the whole team, well done. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you. That's great. Also with us is the single most decorated American Olympian from the 2026 Games, speed skater Jordan Stolz. And I watched that one too. Strong legs, very strong legs. I said, how do I get my legs to look like that? I don't have any time to work like that. But you were amazing and historic. victories. Jordan broke the Olympic record in the men's 500 meter, 1,000 meter speed skating, winning double gold medals. In addition, Jordan brought home the silver in the 1,500 meter competition, and he just did a great job. Everybody's still talking about it. So, Jordan, where are you, Jordan? And I met Jordan before, and he's a fantastic young man, great future. We also have the gold medal champion in women's moguls, Elizabeth Lemley. I don't know how you do that, Elizabeth. That's amazing stuff. Where's Elizabeth? Hello. Elizabeth. Along with gold medal winning mixed aerial freestyle skiing team consisting of Christopher Lillis, Connor Curran, and Kayla Kuhn. Thank you very much. Wow. Where are you? Good job. Great job. I also have to mention the team that won perhaps the greatest victory on the hockey rink since the original Miracle on Ice, and they were here in February, and it was an amazing moment, just an incredible, the 2026 men's Olympic hockey team. We celebrated together, and it was something special. It was really an amazing period of time, and the women's team and the men's team, it was just incredible. And in that overtime thriller, Team USA beat Canada 2-1, thanks to many memorable performances and clutch plays, including the golden goal. They scored it. They call it the golden, it sounds like me naming it. I call it the golden age of America. The golden age of America. Now we have the golden goal. But that's okay. And that was done by Jack Hughes, as you know, great guy. And a record 41 saves by goalie Connor Hellebuck. And he was MVP. Everybody would agree to that. He was unbelievable. He was something. And of course, we can't forget and never would. And nobody would have the courage to forget either, because they are amazing. The history-making women's hockey team, this team left everything right on the ice, and they beat Canada and clinched the Olympic gold. With us today are two of the key contributors to that winning effort, Abby Murphy and Joy Dunn. And I want to thank you, Abby and Joy, for really a memorable period of time. It was just an amazing time for our country. Where are you, Abby and Joy? That was really something, but never before in history have both of our men's and women's hockey teams won gold in a single season. This is truly and I say it's just a period of time. Our country has never done better than it's doing right now in so many different ways, even in terms of investment. 19.2 trillion is pouring into our country, making them richer. It's making everybody in this room richer, including my man. But it's been a great period of time, and I will say this: the whole world and they know it, and they say it. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and a big factor is right standing behind me. And what a future they have, every one of them. Thank you very much. Such an honor. So, adding to this historic success, our Paralympians brought home their 5th straight gold medal in sled hockey, and extended one of the greatest dynasties in all of international sports. And it's amazing what you've done. Nobody's ever done anything like it. Where are you? Let me just see. Congratulations. And congratulations to Brett Bolton, David Eustace, Jack Wallace, Caden Beasley, Kevin McKee, Landon Utke, Liam Cunningham, Malik Jones, Declan Farmer, and Jen Lee. You are really an inspiration, and thank you very much. It's an amazing, amazing achievement that we'll never forget. And it was a record. Something nice about record performances. It was a record. It's one of the highest pleasures of the presidency to be able to support our nation's best athletes, and that's what they are, and celebrate the champions of Team USA. Under the Trump administration, we're doing everything we can to protect the cherished sporting traditions that have long been part of our nation from the beginning, right from the beginning. And already we've done a lot to help save women's sports, and we're also saving college sports. We're in the process of working very hard. We had a bad judge's decision, and a judge that knew nothing about sports declared sports unconstitutional. Can you believe it? And we had to come and put something together, and we had the help of so many great people. They all came together, and we have a bill right now that we're trying to get passed, and if it does, we'll be bringing sports back, and you'll all be protected, and your sports will be protected, and frankly, women will be protected, because with what happened, that was the worst thing that happened to women's sports. You understand that, and we're working very hard with a lot of great people. Nick Saban, as an example, was so instrumental, and Andy Levine, he's the president of the New York Yankees, and just so many, they all came together, the Big Ten, the SEC, and what a mess it was, a court case that was a disaster. And why they didn't appeal that case, I have no idea. I won't ask about that, but they didn't appeal it. Some genius said, let's not appeal it. And that was a perfect case to win an appeal, but the people that were running things did not appeal it. So foolish. But we have it going, and we're very close to a deal that will be terrific, I think, and really save college sports and save colleges, if you want to know the truth. The money that was being spent because of this ridiculous decision that was made. But the collegiate athletic system is the engine of American Olympic dominance. And, you know, you produce the great Olympians. They really can compete in college and all sports, every sport, producing 88 Team USA athletes for the 2026 Winter Games alone. And to that end, I am urging the House and the Senate to come together, bipartisan if possible, and it looks like that's what they have done, together and send the bill to my desk. I will sign it immediately, done by some of the greatest people in sports, and I think we have no choice. We have to get that done, right? We have to get that done, and if we don't, we're very foolish. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We're in never, never land, and we're not going to let that be happening. We're just not going to let it happen to these great people and others, but we're not going to let that happen. I know many of the Olympians here today are already training for the next Winter Games, and 8 years from now, who is expecting and hoping to be in the next Olympics? Because, well, we're going to run that good like we did the world. Good. That's great. That's great. Well, we're going to do a real job. You know, we had the greatest, most successful, the FIFA. The World Cup was the most, and I want to just pay a special thanks to Andrew. You did a fantastic job, Andrew Giuliani. Great job. It was like a flawless thing. It was 4 times more successful than monetarily and every other way. I think other ways even more than that. But it was, well, thank you. But we're going to do it again now for them. We have to do it again for them. So we're going to make this one of the best, maybe the best. But that was the most successful World Cup they've ever had, by far. They actually say by 4 times greater. I said, let's do it again in 4 years, but other countries had problems with that, right? But in 8 years from now, some of you may even have a chance to compete on American soil on the 2034 Winter Olympics, where it's going to be in Salt Lake City. And of course, and that'll be great. And of course, we're all looking forward to the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. So we got a lot of action. We have a lot of action going, so it's really going to be something, and it's going to be well run. It's been well run, just like FIFA. We didn't have a problem. It was so smooth. All of those games, it was sort of like they said, having a Super Bowl every day. and actually in some cases having about 4 Super Bowls a day, but it worked out so flawlessly. We're very proud of it. And so I want to just once again thank everybody representing our nation so incredibly and setting all of those records, because many of you set records. Setting a record is a big deal all those years, and you showed the entire world that the Americans really, they know how to fight, and win, and you can do that better than anybody, and I'm going to be watching you again very soon. And now let's have 2 of the Team USA's flag bearers, the great flag bearers this past Winter Olympics, come forward for a special gift presentation. One of the most decorated Paralympians in U.S. history, a phenomenal athlete, Lori Stevens, along with U.S. Army Sergeant and bobsled team member, a great talent, Frank Del Duca. Do you know Frank Del Duca? Where's Frank Del Duca? Is that Frank? Come here, Frank. Ooh, strong, very strong hands. Great. Would you like to say something, please?
Mr. President, my name is Frank Del Duca, and I'm joined here with my teammate, 6-time Paralympian Lori Stevens. We had the unique privilege of serving as Team USA's flag bearers at the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games and Paralympic Games in Milano Cortina. Thank you for welcoming us to the White House. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for your support of America's Olympic and Paralympic athletes, and for helping to celebrate the movement that unites and inspires so many across our country. On behalf of Team USA, we would like to gift you these keepsakes. We hope you'll wear them proudly as you continue to cheer on Team USA.
I will be. Thank you very much. USA. We have some really beautiful coins. I love coins. I always love coins, but we have the best of them. We're going to give everybody here a very special coin. And if we can, we'll get down and I'll show you the Oval Office. You like to see the Oval Office? I don't think there's a little many of these. And most of them I just want to get out of there. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. Some of them I love, and some of them I don't like so much. But they all come here. We just had the Dodgers. They were fantastic. The Super Bowl winner. We have everybody. And this is one of the great honors. And really, you're tremendous athletes. I mean, to do it 6 times. How do you do it 6 times? That's a lot of heart. That's a lot of heart. So we're going to come down to the Oval Office together. We're going to take one picture here. And then we're going to present you all with a very special, really something that you're going to like, a coin, but very special coin from the White House, okay? Thank you. Does anybody not want to go to the Oval Office? Great job. Great job. Let's go. We'll do it. Come on.
Right up here, everybody. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
I'll see you down at the Oval, okay? We'll see you down there.
Try it a little bit.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a few subjects that we're going to discuss, all important, but one in particular important having to do with birthright citizenship. And Will, if you would, maybe you could we'll start it off with what Howard's going to be discussing.
So a short while ago, sir, you signed an order relating to the polysilicon industry. This is a series of trade and tariff actions under Section 232 intended to ensure that domestic polysilicon manufacturing is properly supported and protected from overseas dumping and offshore threats. Howard can speak more to the details, but polysilicon is incredibly important in the chip-making industry and a number of other industries as well. And like many of your previous trade actions, sir, this is intended to ensure that we're onshoring manufacturing capacity, that we're onshoring our own supply of critical products, and that we're protecting American industry from malign foreign actors in that space.
Thank you.
So polysilicon is sort of the foundational product that makes silicon wafers that become the AI chips and the chips that are in our phones and everything. So the president's policies have brought 50% of production into America. But we need the foundational products made here. Otherwise, we're making the products here, but we need the supply chain here. So this will bring the supply chain here. We're setting prices so that the Chinese can't dump anymore, and we're setting tariffs to say build it here. We've got the industry here. It's too small, and it's going to explode under your leadership.
And we're having massive numbers of, I guess you'd call them factories or plants built having to do with the manufacturing of chips, more than we've ever had before. Intel, we're very proud of. They've done incredible. They've really been an incredible company. But we're doing some unbelievable business. Chips will have a big percentage of the chip business by the time I leave office, which could be a long time. Who knows? But it could also be fairly quick. They say 2.5 years. We're going to find out. But I just want to say that it's an honor to have worked with a very smart group of people, and we're bringing the chip business back into the United States in a very big way. Jameson, do you have anything to say about that?
Sir, I think you need to put this in the context of everything else that's happening. Manufacturing productivity is the highest it's been in years. We haven't seen any growth like this for forever. Under President Biden, the last part of his presidency, he lost 220,000 manufacturing jobs. The president has stabilized this. Now the manufacturing jobs are going up. So all of these indicators on manufacturing are happening, and it's because of tariffs, it's because of trade actions, it's because of the investment credits you've given people, the tax credits, everything you're doing, the energy policy, all of it is bringing manufacturing back here, protecting American workers and American jobs.
Well, tariffs are bringing us hundreds of billions of dollars worth of dollars. I mean, just money, the money that we've never seen anything like it, with no inflation, by the way. Everyone said, oh, there'll be inflation. We have very low inflation. We brought inflation way down. I inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but I say the history of our country, and from the Biden administration, and we're bringing it way down. So the numbers beyond the money being brought in, the number of factories being built in our country is more now than we have ever seen before. There's never been anything like it. And you're going to see the results. And you're seeing the results already in construction jobs because they're being built all over the country. But in another year, as they start to open, there's never been, we call it the golden age of America, and that's what it is. Now, if we could talk, Steve, maybe you could discuss what we're dealing with on birthright citizenship. We had a very unfortunate decision in the Supreme Court concerning birthright. It was close, but a very, very unfortunate decision. So we're making adjustments because it's very unfair. This was done for a different reason. This was done right after the Civil War. This was for the babies of slaves. And what's happening now, people are building businesses around it. From wealthy people are building businesses around birthright citizenship. That's not the way it was supposed to work. It's a disgrace. They're buying their way in, and we're not going to let it happen. So, Steve, if you will, please.
Yes, so today the President signed these two executive orders here relating to birthright citizenship and birth tourism. As the President mentioned, the 14th Amendment was passed exclusively in the aftermath of the Civil War so that to ensure that the children of slaves would be citizens. It had no other meaning and purpose outside of that. And that's been clear, obviously, since the day that it was passed. You can go back and you can read the congressional debates. This is not something that's even seriously contested by anybody. The president is using his authority as commander-in-chief to sign first an executive order using the new ruling the Supreme Court issued to expand the definitions of people who are ineligible for birthright citizenship. That includes, for example, alien enemies of the United States, members of foreign terrorist organizations, and large categories of people who lobby and act on behalf of foreign governments. And so with taking this action, it ensures that large numbers of people who wrongly would be getting birthright citizenship will no longer be eligible for those benefits. The second action that he's taking, which is especially historic, is for the first time ever in American history to ban birth tourism. So I want you to really let that sink in. This has been something that people have talked about not only for years, but for decades. The idea that people come here pretending to be a tourist, pretending to be a visitor, saying they want to go to Disneyland, they want to go visit a monument or go to a national park, but the real reason they're here is to have a child, to make that child an automatic citizen, leave our country, and then have a U.S. citizen child. It gives them access under this broken system to welfare benefits, ultimately to the voting booth, and all the other rights and privileges that belong solely to Americans. So that practice of birth tourism is, as of the signing of this order, hereby banned. And what that means is that no one in the world is any more allowed to obtain a visa for this fraudulent purpose. It is probably, and President Trump has done many historic things on immigration, too many to list now, sealed the southern border shut, record deportations, record integrity, stopping foreign terrorist entry, record reduction in drug seizures, dismantling criminal cartels, dismantling the gangs, right? Everything he's done that has been so unprecedented. I would put this in the top 3 in terms of importance because it ends what has been one of the gravest and most egregious abuses of the American system, and it keeps American citizenship sacred.
Thank you. Okay.
Mr. President?
Big stuff. That's a big deal.
Mr.
Please.
Thank you. On the birth tourism executive order, what are the plans for enforcement in terms of cracking down on birth tourism hotels is common in parts of California?
Very big crackdowns, and this will give us the right to do it in a much more forceful manner. But they've taken birthright citizenship and they've made a joke out of it. And we're actually the only country of size, I think just about the only country, period, that does birthright citizenship. I thought we were going to win it at the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, we had a bad decision, very unfair decision. Our country suffers because of it, and we're ending it a different way.
Mr. President, at the Supreme Court, John Sauer, the Solicitor General, did not have an answer as to how many individuals take advantage of birth tourism. Is there a number that you can cite?
I'll tell you right now, hundreds of thousands, okay? Hundreds of thousands. You have one man came in with a family, said he had 56 children. Another one came in, they said they had 98 children. This was not what it was for. This was meant for the babies of slaves. It was right after 1 week or 2 weeks after the Civil War ended. This wasn't for wealthy multi-millionaires, billionaires coming in and bringing 15, 20, 30 children along with them. It's become a big business, and we're ending that business, please.
What makes you confident, Mr. President, that this will pass constitutional muster?
I think it will. I think, in fact, I asked a very talented person named Will Scharf, who's standing right behind me. Do you want to discuss that, Will? You felt pretty strongly about it.
The law is absolutely clear. What we're talking about, as Stephen said, with respect to birth tourism, something that used to happen incidentally, where somebody who happened to be on vacation here went into labor early and had a baby. This was sort of a relatively small problem. What we've seen in recent years, though, is organized rings, at times criminal rings, setting up a system whereby tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people can come to this country in an organized fashion and give birth here purely for the sake of obtaining birthright citizenship. This order takes a number of different actions intended to combat those sorts of organized practices. We look very heavily at denying visas to people that we have reason to believe are coming here for that purpose. visas both for putative parents, but also for the people organizing these rings. There's also obviously a law enforcement component. We'll have a full fact sheet released on this soon, but what we're doing is taking legally validated means that are clearly within our disposal and targeting them square on to this birth tourism industry. There's absolutely nothing in here that runs afoul of any of the Supreme Court's opinions on the subject. This is frankly, it's action that's overdue, and I'm thankful that President Trump is finally taking decisive action to combat this issue of birth tourism now that it's been queued up in the way that it has as a result of the Supreme Court's opinion.
This should have been done a long time ago. This should have happened years ago, but we're taking care of it now, please.
Thank you. Can you help us understand how you distinguish between a tourist and a birth tourist?
Well, I'll let you discuss it, please.
Yes, happy to. And so, by the way, that's an excellent presentation.
Thank you, Stephen.
For those of you who want to do your research on this, Section 215A of the Immigration and Nationality Act gives the president this authority. 215A of the Immigration and Nationality Act. Very rarely used, probably one of the strongest laws in the entire federal code, gives him this power. And that's not the only, but it's the main statutory authority that's being used in this order. So birth tourism is by definition a fraud on the American system, on the American taxpayer, on the American visa. If you're coming here, and again, your stated purpose is that you're a tourist, then by definition, you are here to come for a few weeks, look at what we have, engage in commerce, and leave. So if you're telling a consular officer you're here as a tourist, but your true purpose and intent is to go to a baby mill, give birth, and try to mint an American citizen while you're here, then you're committing a fraud against the American government. And by definition, that visa can and should and will be now denied.
Mr. President, there's a report that you told donors that they need to get J.D. Vance elected in 2028. Is that your official endorsement?
No, it's. I heard about it a little while ago. I think he's great, but we're way too early to even be thinking about that. Okay?
And then, Mr. President, Republicans are arguing a lot right now about affordability. What is your message on affordability going into the midterms?
Well, that's a good question, but it's sort of simple to answer. I inherited the highest prices ever. I inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country, and we have done an amazing job. And oil prices now are coming down very rapidly. If you look at what's going on, it's down to 75. When I started the very important excursion into the Islamic Republic of Iran, it was a very important excursion because they can't have a nuclear weapon. Otherwise, the whole world would get blown up. We're not going to let that happen. Not only us, not only the Middle East, the whole world would have been catastrophic. We had no choice. We had oil down to less than $2 in many places like Iowa. Oil was down to, gasoline was down at numbers that people hadn't seen in years. $1.85, $1.95. So it passed Tuesday. I was in Iowa at a stop, and we had $1.95, another one $1.85 a gallon. And we'll see those days pretty soon again, based on everything I see, as soon as the war ends. And I think it's going to end pretty soon. I don't think they can go much longer. Yeah, please.
Has a deal been reached to reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, I don't want to say it has been. It's sort of open right now. You know, we have a thing called the blockade headed up by the U.S. Navy, and we control it. And now we control it, but they can always shoot something. They always have something, or drop a mine. And if you have one mine sitting out there, you sort of mess things up because people don't want to take their billion-dollar boats and accidentally get hit by a mine. But I think we're doing very well. I just, I'm involved in the negotiation. I think we're doing fine. It could be soon, yeah.
Mr. President, have you lobbied any of the undecided Republicans who will vote tomorrow on Todd Blanche's nomination?
I will lobby if I need to. I will lobby very, very diligently because he's outstanding. He should be good. I mean, I can't imagine he's as good as there is in the country. People have such unbelievable respect for Todd Blanche, so hopefully that won't be necessary. I spoke to some people, I did, but hopefully it'll all work out very well for the country because you're not going to find better than Todd Blanche.
Will you reach out to Senator Murkowski, Senator Cassidy, for instance?
Let's see if we need anybody. I'll reach out to whoever I have to, but anybody voting against him would be doing a great disservice to the country, please.
Mr. President, the deadline for Representative Max Miller to withdraw from his race is coming up next week. Do you believe he should withdraw at this point?
Well, I'm not going to get involved in that. It's a very sad situation, and I know Max very well, but it's very, very sad that a situation like that takes place. Yeah.
Do you think the DOJ should prosecute Dr. Fauci?
Well, you know, they prosecuted Peter Navarro and they prosecuted Steve Bannon, two very decent people, over something that essentially was never prosecuted before. And there are sort of telltale signs of similarity. And they went to jail for a number of months over something that I saw one of the analysts said they used to laugh at it in the Justice Department when something like that was referred. But Merrick Garland prosecuted two very decent people and sent them to jail. I wasn't president. I would have given him a pardon in 2 seconds, but I wasn't. It was after I left. They waited till after I left, and then they prosecuted these two people, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. So when you see that happen, you sort of say maybe he should. What he did is far more serious than a lot of crimes, frankly. But they prosecuted two people when nothing like that has ever taken place before.
Mr. President.
Mr. President, on munitions, you posted overnight that the U.S. has a massive amount, and
That's right.
you denied that there were any shortages. There is a supplemental request for $21 billion to restock. So why is that request still there if there's
Well,
no
because we
urgency?
need more all the time. I mean, we need more. Look, we gave tremendous amount to Ukraine. The Biden people did. And they were given free of charge. No charge. No charge. Billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. And fortunately, I built up so much during my term. I rebuilt the military and also loaded it up with a lot of stuff. And we have certain types of munitions that are very powerful, that we have unlimited, virtual unlimited supply. We have others where it's a little bit tighter, and we're getting them in on a daily basis. As you know, our defense companies are building more plants right now than at any point in history. They're building plants for the Patriots, for the Tomahawks, for everything. But we have certain types of munitions which are very, they may not be as accurate, they may not be, they're not as elite. We have elite too, but we're watching that very closely. But we have certain types which are very powerful and very good, and we have an unlimited supply, and so we're in great shape. But with that being said, we always want more. We have to have more. We have other things maybe come up. Maybe come up and maybe don't come up. Hopefully nothing else does come up. But we're in very good shape. We have literally massive amounts of ammunition. Yeah.
Mr. President, on Ukraine, President Zelensky says his country desperately needs long-range missiles or those Patriot missile batteries. Is that something that you're
Well, I
considering?
mean, we want missiles too. When Biden gave him so much, Biden gave $300 billion worth of ammunition. When I left, it was full, and he gave a lot of it away. Now we're rebuilding it, and we're using munitions that are very powerful, very good, but we wouldn't have been using them. We could have used something else. But these are a little bit older type, equally as effective, and it's things that we have so much of. Plus, we have supplies of munitions all over the world that if we ever needed them, we'd take that. We're supplied all over the world, but we're in very, very good shape.
Russia seems to have increased their attacks on civilian areas.
I know.
That must be a concern to you. Mr. President.
Well, look, we're not involved from the standpoint we're separated by an ocean, but I hate to see 25,000 young people a month get killed, and that's what's happening. Between Russia and Ukraine, they're losing on average 25,000, mostly soldiers, a month. And, we're working on it, and I think we're making progress, but it's a violent, very violent war. There's a lot of hatred in that war, a lot of hatred between the two leaders. I settled 8 wars. I thought this would be maybe one of the easier ones, and it turned out to be the most difficult. But progress is being made. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
That's a very nice song. I love that song because that means you won, basically. If we didn't, we wouldn't hear that song very much. But I want to thank everybody, special people, people that built our country are here. And you really haven't. I was just looking at my notes, and I could do this one without any notes because there's a great love for what you do. And I think you haven't been treated well for many years. But you're making up for it now. You're really making up for it now. So it's an honor, and I'm delighted to be here at the Department of State to announce some of the largest ever investments in American mining. A great thing mining is. We're putting our miners back to work, and we're reclaiming America's rightful place as the minerals superpower of the world, which is what we are. People just didn't know that for a while. I want to thank our great Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, for hosting us. It's a beautiful building, but you know, I look at the president's allowed to remove things from any building. And I'm liking the chandeliers. I like those Corinthian columns, but I don't know, cutting them out would be not good. Those are beautiful columns, but I'm allowed to do it. Every once in a while I'll come in here and grab a painting and put it at the Oval Office, right? But not too much. But I want to thank Marco. I want to thank Secretary of Interior Doug Burgum, who's done a fantastic job. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, likewise, and as well as Executive Director of the National Energy Dominance Council, Jared Agan. Thank you, Jared. And thank you all. I love that, the Dominance Council. I've never heard that one before. That's a hell of a name. Where's Jared? Where's Jared? Hi, Jared. I like that. Did you make up that? Did you come up with that?
That's all you, sir. You came up with that one.
I think it's pretty good. Thanks as well to the leaders of many of America's great mining companies who are here, and educational institutions are also joining us today. 250 years ago, America won our political independence in the Revolutionary War. In my first term, we secured our energy independence, and now in my second term, we're achieving our economic independence, ensuring that America is never again reliant on hostile foreign nations for the resources our country needs to dominate in the future. And we have plenty of those resources. Critical minerals are the raw materials of American strength that power everything from advanced weaponry to automobiles, and we want these essential products to be mined, refined, and made right here in the USA. With the American skill and American hands, we have better skill and we have better hands than anybody in the world. For decades, politicians let other countries steal our mines and mining jobs. They'd close up mines. They'd buy a mine and close it because it was good for them and put American producers out of business. The United States lost more than 3,400 mines. Oh, can you imagine? 3,400. I thought they were going to say miners or jobs. It's mines. 3,400 mines over the past 3 decades. That's sad. But now they're coming back, and they're coming back faster. Many of those mines are being reopened, and a lot of new mines are being built. Over the past 18 months, our administration has signed or approved more than 160 minerals deals worth nearly $40 billion. And today, the United States is opening up new mines at the fastest pace since the 1950s. Nobody's seen anything like it. And that goes for auto plants, too, and AI, and so many other kinds of plants. We have 9, think of this, we have, in a short period of time, a year and a half, and it's the numbers are for the first 12 months, actually, but
figure a year and a half. We have $19.2 trillion being invested. The previous administration had much less than $1 trillion in 4 years. We have 19.2 in actually 12 months, but we'll add something to it. So it's now going to be over $20 trillion. And by the way, no country ever in history has done anywhere near that number. We're 5 to 6 times higher than certain of our competitors from very successful competitors, but we're much higher. Nobody's seen what's happening today in our country. Nobody has seen anything like it. And hopefully you'll see it again, but only for us. I think it's going to be hard to match, however. Today, the United States is opening new mines at the fastest pace, and we opened the first American rare earth mine in more than 70 years. What's that all about, Marco? We've announced the construction of the first new aluminum smelter since 1980. It's going to be a big one. I mean, if it's the same one, building a massive, beautiful job producing smelter in Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma because they have 77 counties. I won all 77 3 times, right? You know, oh, he's looking, right? Nobody's, you know who second was? Ronald Reagan, 56. That's pretty good, right? I like Oklahoma. We authorized deep sea mining to unlock vast untapped resources off our coast. And we're rebuilding the national defense stockpile and investing more than $12 billion in a brand new strategic mineral reserve. And we're protecting American workers with historic tariffs on foreign copper, aluminum, steel, so that our people are protected. And the tariffs are what made this so successful, the proper use of tariffs, but they're really what made this so successful. You probably heard me during my campaign. I used to say, the word tariff is my favorite word, and the fake news, see them back there? They're all back there. And they'd say, what a terrible thing to say. What about God, wife, country, love? I said, it's all right. So I made it my 5th favorite word. Now I have no problem. Oh, they hit me hard when I said tariff was my all-time favorite word. It didn't play well, but it's a solid number 5, and now I'm okay. But American miners have never had a greater champion in the White House than President Donald Trump. And before I took office, federal mining permits took 3, 4, or even 5 years. Now they take as little as 25 days. So we went from 5 years for approvals to get them, and nobody was doing it anyway. Took too long and just wasn't working. So now we go from 5 years to 25 days for approval. Under the Great Big Beautiful Bill, we secured an unprecedented $100 billion to underwrite critical investments in our mineral supply. And for the first time ever, we are even making direct equity investments in critical mineral production. Last July, the Department of War took a $400 million stake in MP Materials, which is already worth nearly $1.2 billion. It's gone up greatly in value. I did one of those too, but not quite in the same business. Intel, we had a problem with Intel, and we settled the problem. They gave us 10% of the company. That was worth $12 billion. And since we had the company, you've probably been watching, the stock has gone up many, many times, just about number 1. And we made $82 billion. Do I get credit for that? No. Did anybody say, great job? And by the way, it's for the country. It's not for me. It's for the country. I have to be very plain about that. But no, we've made about 80, Howard, it's pretty close to 80 billion, a profit of $80 billion by helping the company out. We're doing it a lot, actually. We're doing it a lot. Today, we're taking another historic action toward the future of American mining. For years, mining schools and colleges that are essential to training the future leaders of this industry have been absolutely and sadly disappearing. Accredited mining programs in the United States now graduate less than 170 mining engineers each year, while China graduates more than 3,000, and half of our current mining workforce is set to retire within the next 3 years. Well, that's why my administration is making an unprecedented financial commitment to our nation's mining schools. It's going to keep us nice and young and vibrant. The schools came to us seeking $10 million per year in funding. Instead, I'm thrilled to announce that we're delivering $100 million to train the next generation of American miners. And you have a lot of you are in the room right now. And, you know, I'm not doing that because I'm a nice person. I'm doing that because it's great for the country. It's great for the country, and it also helps a lot of people. And they want to mine. You know, I've seen it, and we had a little campaign against somebody named Hillary Clinton, and she wanted the miners of West Virginia to learn how to make chips, little tiny chips with their big, strong hands. And they were not, I won by 55 points. They were not thrilled. They didn't want to be doing, they wanted to be in the mines. That's what they want to do. They don't want to do anything else. I remember that. It was so unbelievable. It was very, very good for me. I tell you what, she didn't get that. We did very well with that kind of thinking. But we're also making major grants to the Colorado School of Mines, the South Dakota School of Mines, and the Johns Hopkins RTX partnership. And together those grants are worth $81 million. Going to train people, work with people, and we're going to put you right back on the front pages. That's what you have to be. In addition, today my administration is announcing a series of historic mining projects worth $3 billion, which will create thousands of jobs and promote our economic stability and security. The Department of War's Office of Strategic Capital is signing a massive $1.4 billion loan agreement with Sealand Nanotechnologies to build a next-generation battery facility in Washington State using what we have right under our feet. The Export-Import Bank is working to provide more than $1 billion to finance the Ivanhoe Electric's Santa Cruz Copper Project in Arizona, one of the biggest anywhere in the world. The Ex-Im Bank is launching the Alabama Graphite Project, a $25 million investment, as well as the Fort Cady Integrated Boron Facility in Southern California. And it's going to be something. We broke through the environmental disasters. You had environmental people. You know, look, I'm an environmental person, believe it or not, but you had people that were just stopping it. They were using the environment to stop all of these things. The Department of War is investing $400 million to expand production of scandium, one of the world's most valuable aerospace and defense materials in Australia. The Department of War is also investing $150 million with Niron Magnetics in Minnesota. Minnesota, wow. What the hell happened to Minnesota? The governor's totally corrupt, but we won't talk about that now. That's for another day. Corrupt and incompetent, a bad combination. To build rare earth magnets. Magnets, you got to go with magnets. That's a good one. Everybody should go for magnets. Really badly needed. And Global Advanced Metals will build a major new factory in southeastern Pennsylvania to support cutting-edge defense and aerospace systems. Together, we're reawakening the spirit of the gold rush, the prospectors and the great pioneers of this country, people who built the United States of America. And very simply, we're making mining great again, and the United States is doing better than it's ever done, maybe ever done. So I just want to thank you, and I'll now ask Secretary Rubio to say a few words, and then we'll hear from some of the wonderful people we have up here, Secretary Burgum, in this order, Secretary Lutnick, Executive Director of the University of Arizona School of Mining and Engineering and Minerals, Cray Luxbacher, President of Colorado School of Mines, Paul Johnson, CEO of MP Materials, Jim Latinsky, who I know your brother. He's a nice guy, by the way. I assume it's your brother. Where is, right? That's right, Andy.
Yes.
Your brother?
Yes.
Okay, well, he's a smart guy, and so
Thank you.
And President of Resolution Copper, Vicky Pesce. So we'll go. I didn't know I was going to have so many people. I'll be here all day. If you could go quickly, I would appreciate it, because we have a war to prosecute, okay? That's my excuse for getting out of here a little bit early. But I've done my thing only in the sense that we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions of dollars in bringing your industry back. And we need your industry. We're not doing you favors. We're doing ourselves favors. We need your industry. People wouldn't talk about it, but we do indeed. Marco, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for coming to the State Department. We like this room a lot, too, and obviously, don't look back. There's a painting up here. Uh-oh.
That's a good one. I'm taking it with me.
I shouldn't have said anything. But anyway, Mr. President, thank you for being here. Thank you for your leadership on this topic. It's it's a challenge we face in this domain that actually goes to the very survival of the country. And thank you for giving it a priority in your presidency. This has been going on for 25 years. We've been walking away from the importance of this, and now we're trying to make up for 25 or 30 years of mistakes under your presidency. So we appreciate your presidency valuing this when other presidents did not. The group of people that are here today represent the whole nation effort that's involved in this. It's because at the core of this is our industrial strength, but also our national sovereignty, that we never depend on other countries for things we need to prosper and to defend ourselves as a people. And so you'll see here today, as you've already pointed out, we have leaders not just from government, but from universities, from private industry, from students who are going to be the future of this industry. I wanted to very briefly touch on what the State Department's done. You know, earlier this year we had a critical minerals ministerial. We brought in countries from all over the world and announced the creation of something called FORGE, which is an international partnership chaired by us in the United States to leverage public finance and coordinate diplomatic support to secure these supply chains around the world. At that meeting, we signed 11 new critical minerals agreements with countries adding to the ones that already existed. Today, under your administration, we've already signed 27 critical mineral agreements with other countries. We also, under the leadership of someone who needs to be recognized, our Undersecretary Jacob Hellberg. I don't know if Jacob is here, but Jacob's been phenomenal. He came up with something called Pax Silica, and it's an initiative that leads our efforts to partner with the private sector and invest in mining and refining and in processing, as well as the end-use applications of that. There's still a lot of work left to do, but we at the State Department are willing to utilize our unmatched global presence, our presence all over the world to ensure that we're working on this. And we're committed to working with industry, with universities, with all the elements of our national power to bring this about. And so thank you, Mr. President, for prioritizing this. And I think we all look forward to working not just nationally, but with our allies around the world to ensure that we have supply chains that are diversified and reliable, and no country can ever hold this over our head and threaten us in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco, very much. Thank you. Doing a fantastic job, too. I will tell you that. Doug?
Well, sir, today is a day of gratitude, and we're grateful, first of all, to have a president that understands the importance of this industry and understand that our future depends on restoring American mining. And I'm also grateful that we've got students, educators, and industry leaders together in this room for the first time, we think, in the history that any president has called this group together. So again, thank you all for being here for this historic day. It's true the president has supported American mining more than any other president in history. And it's true that with the announcements made today, he's now supported mining education more than any other president in history. And we owe you a lot for that, Mr. President. We also, when you first took office, you declared an energy emergency, which included critical minerals as part of that. You created the National Energy Dominance Council. We've got some of those partners that are right here, and whether it's Marco with the 27 bilateral agreements, going to 51 countries, whether it's Howard with the trade deals and the investments that are being made, then the National Security Council, David Copley and everybody working on supply chain, Jared Hagan and the NEDC doing all of this work. It's a whole of government approach. You understood that we had to turn the ship around. It took every agency, every working together, and your leadership has driven that. Across Interior, it's included the U.S. Geologic Survey. We've got Andrea Travnik here in the front row, who's the Assistant Secretary for Water and Science, which include that. But getting these things like Geologic Survey back to their core mission, which is mapping. The critical minerals list comes out of the U.S. Geologic Survey. We've expanded that to 60 critical minerals, and for the first time, we put coal back on that list because that's also such an important part of mining. And as you know, President Trump, everybody in your administration is slashing red tape, accelerating permitting, but permits don't build mines, people do. And that's why the investments that are made today related to reimagining the workforce and supporting these institutions are so great. America, it's estimated, graduates more than 30,000 lawyers every year, but you heard the president say less than 200 mining and metallurgical degree students. That has to change with a $100 million historic investment and the other investments announced today. The anticipation and the challenge to those 14 schools that are all here today is to double or triple the number of graduates in the next 2 years. And again, President Trump, even though that those are all amazing things, the most important thing that you've done is you've restored America's belief that we can do big, bold, hard things again. When you were campaigning, you talked about drill, baby, drill, and some people scoffed at that. But under that vision of energy abundance, America now, the #1 oil producer, #1 natural gas producer, #1 LNG exporter, all of that in 18 months. This industry is poised to do the exactly same thing, to revive itself and become a world leader. And it's going to be powered by the next generation of American entrepreneurs, engineers, geologists, and skilled miners. And so, President Trump, this group is here. You've proven that we can drill, baby, drill. This group is here to prove that we can mine, baby, mine. And to supporting that, we're going to map, baby, map, and we're going to put American mining back on the map. So thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And it's something that we maybe should say. We do more oil right now than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined, and that's not including Venezuela. We're getting a lot of oil, and good relationship we have with them too, but a lot of oil. But we do, without even including Venezuela, we're doing more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. Isn't that something? That's a big difference. Howard, please.
So let's be clear, critical minerals are more than an economic issue. They're a national security issue. If we want to lead in advanced manufacturing, AI, semiconductors, energy, defense, we can't depend on our foreign adversaries for the materials that underpin our industries. We just can't. And that's why the president tasked us to rebuild the supply chain and make it a top priority of his administration and my department. So our objective is very simple. We're going to mine here, we're going to process here, we're going to refine here, we're going to manufacture here, and we're going to create those American jobs right here. So our Section 232 tariffs, right, where we strengthened our steel, our aluminum, and our copper industries, and let's just talk about what that's created. So I have Jesse Gary on my left. I went down to visit his aluminum smelter, and he's building the one in Oklahoma. Oh. Jesse's doing the one in Oklahoma, where he's going to double the aluminum production by the United States of America. So that's pretty amazing.
Great success.
Right, then of course we're doing steel in Alabama. I mean, these are the first types of smelters and furnaces that America's had in 40 or 50 years. And it's only because of your leadership and the 232 tariffs, which you've been driving. So the CHIPS program, right, we gave Korea Zinc $7.4 billion to build a critical mineral smelter right here in the United States. Vulcan Elements, $1.4 billion, also to build right here in the United States, right? Another, Robert is sitting next to me, we invested in iPulse, that's his high-tech mining company, to change the way mining is done, and so we have an investment with him. And the goal, of course, is not just more minerals, it's the full industrial supply chain on American soil. You have to remember, we lost critical minerals not because of free markets. It's because of foreign subsidies, market distortion, export restrictions, stockpiling. These adversaries have just cheated their way to market strength, and we are back and we're fighting it. So we're not going to accept dependence on foreign supplies. We're just not. That's why we're working across the world, as Marco pointed out, to expand our global allies and make sure we're doing it together. So we're going to secure reliable supply. We're going to strengthen our global partnerships. Right? We're going to back American companies, and we're going to make sure the United States, not our adversaries, controls the supply chains of power and critical minerals for our country and our future. The bottom line, we need to control our supply chain, and under your leadership, we are executing on that, and it is coming. We will mine, we will process, we will refine right here in America under the Trump presidency.
Thank you. Thank you, Howard, very much. And Cray, where's Cray?
I'm here, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. President, first I want to thank you. This is a historic investment in American mining engineering schools, and we're really grateful. I also want to say thank you for what you've already done towards accelerating permitting for mining in the United States. It's really been unbelievable, and you've created pathways for industry. And now, in order to achieve American mineral dominance, we really need technology and talent. And your American mining schools are ready to get to work, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you so much for your leadership. I think the message of the day is we need to mine, refine, and make things in America. And I'm pleased to report to you, actually, because this has been a call to action from you for a long time to make magnets. I'm pleased to show you, actually, these are magnets that we made at MP for GM.
Good.
These magnets were mined and refined in the state of California and made in the state of Texas, 100% American made. And thanks to your leadership, we are scaling up that facility. We're going to triple the capacity, so we're delivering magnets to GM today. Next year, we'll be delivering magnetics to Apple. And then from there, we're going to 10x our capacity as a result of our public-private partnership together. We're going to increase capacity for American industry, which, as you mentioned earlier, is going to be the American taxpayer has already benefited. It'll be great for national security. It's really a win-win-win, sir. And lastly, that facility is going to be north of $1 billion of investment and a couple thousand jobs. So we really are making a lot of progress thanks to your leadership. So I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Jim. Great job. That's so important, what you're doing. Very, very important. Those are the ones I'd be looking at if I were in your world. And thank you.
Thank you.
Is Paul Johnson right here? Right?
Yes, Mr. President, I'm here. Mr. President, I'm Paul Johnson, President of Colorado School of Mines. We are the #1 ranked program in the world. We're the largest program in the United States. And we are very, very excited about the investments that you're making. It's pretty hard to go anywhere in the world and not run across somebody with a mines connection. Secretary Burgum's experts in critical materials, over 200 of them will be moving to the mines campus in about 6 months, so we'll be looking forward to welcoming you there for that particular ceremony. I wanted to thank you for two things. One is thank you for the investment in the mining schools. Our expertise has atrophied over time, particularly in the processing space, and this investment is going to make a big difference. Second thing is, while the majority of, I think, programs have sort of shrunk over time, we've actually grown over the last 2 years. And I want to thank you because I attribute that growth to you and your administration's highlighting of critical minerals in the press and the amazing team that you have working through you, through Interior and Energy, other folks. It has really, I think, made families feel like this is a field that their children can go into. And I think that's the start of getting things done there. The other thing I want to thank you for is the investment you just announced in mines in our commercialization hub. I've always had this dream of having a facility, and we have a 50,000 square foot facility that could be dedicated to technology, taking it from ideas to pilot scale to commercialization in a very quick period of time. And your investment in us in doing that is going to enable us to be able to do that. We're up for the challenge. We're really excited for it. We were doing the happy dance a little earlier when we found out, when we heard your announcement, and really look forward to doing what we can for the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. Victoria?
Mr. President, you have brought mining back to America, single-handedly, you and your administration, and we wanted to thank you for your enduring support. I run Resolution Copper, which is one of the largest undeveloped copper deposits in the world. It is in a forgotten part of Arizona called the Copper Corridor, and it is, we've already invested $3 billion, so they were ready to go, but we started permitting in 2005. And if it were not for your administration, we finally got it over the line in this year, earlier this year. So we have 4,000 people that will work at our facility, 4,000 miners. We hope to work closely with the mining schools and hire many of the students that will be graduating. $1 billion every year for 60 years invested into the economy. And we also have a smelter. And I think that's the thing that makes it very unique. We can keep everything in the United States and a host of critical mineral co-products as well. Right. So thank you again on behalf of Rio Tinto, BHP, and the hundreds of underground miners who are absolutely fabulous that run the mine today. Thank you very much. We are rolling in drill rigs, we are rolling in equipment, and we're getting on with it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Great. I don't think you're going to need too much luck. Tom and David, go ahead, please.
Mr. President, I'm a very, very proud former alumni of the University of Alaska Fairbanks School of Mines. So on behalf of all the faculty here, the students here, I am thrilled with all of your announcements today. I mean, we've all been frustrated over decades. You're making something happen. I really appreciate that. My first mining job was in Alaska, staking the claims near the Ambler District. And we were in a rush then. This was 1975, 1976. And it's still not permitted. Thank you for breaking that logjam. I have present to you a gift to the American people on a project that I've been very involved with. It's deep sea nodules. Like you, I'm a fan of gold, and this is a solid gold replica of a deep sea nodule. Now, I wish the nodules down the deep sea had a lot of gold in them that would be more attractive, but they do contain 20 critical metals. And these are 20 critical metals that are going to be needed for the reindustrialization of America. They're going to be needed for defense purposes. They're going to be needed for all the technologies that we are relying on, and every single citizen in the United States take for granted. That should be a key part of the supply chain, and that's what mining can do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Where's the gold? Come on, bring it up.
Pass it down.
I want the gold. He just said, let me see what it looks like. It should be very heavy. It's the
The
heaviest.
gold is more fun.
Let me see. It is? It's heavy.
It's real.
That's fantastic. Oh, I like that too, huh? This is so valuable. I don't know, do you have a lot of competition, I hope? Because people have to go after. This is so, people have no idea how valuable that is. Thank you very much, fellas. It's really beautiful. Please, David.
And as somebody who joined the Trump administration from the mining industry, I just want to say that absolutely nobody supports our industry more than President Trump. So for decades, we've felt ignored by Washington, and we've seen our industry outsourced to our geopolitical competitors. So I'm so grateful to work for you, because you get it and you understand that this industry is foundational to our economic and national security. So thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership on these issues. And I know from all of us here in industry that we are committed to building the world's best mining sector here in the United States and reestablishing American mineral dominance. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you very much, my friend.
Well, the mining industry has no greater friend than President Trump. He's, obviously everybody knows he's the greatest deal maker in the world, but what he's doing here today is bigger than any deal or one deal or two deals. This is generational. He is focusing on the next generation of miners. That is something that has never been done before by a president of the United States. He is single-handedly today going to change the entire next generation of mining in America, and he is making America the center of energy dominance for the world. So thank you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you very much, and great. Would you like to say anything, fellas? Good-looking guys here.
Mr. President, this is a truly historic occasion to bring America back to the leadership of mining, which built this building and which built this country. We've been sleepwalking through many administrations, and this is a revolution that will just electrify the millions of people in the United States that understand that everything you touch, we either mined it or we grew it agriculturally. And the people that are the farmers really need everything the miners produce to help them farm. So this is critical to our national security. We're elated with your support, and we're going to use Yankee ingenuity to prove that we can dominate the supply chain again, rather than have that used by other nations against us. Thank you for that.
You know, you used the word sleepwalking. That's what our country was doing with respect to mining, and many other things too, by the way, but sleepwalking, it's a great word. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. This is so exciting to see this attention. You know, I'll just say thank you for your attention to this matter, as you like to end your posts. It's awesome, and we're here and we're ready to go, so thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you very much. This is an honor for me to be here. I love what you do. Doug made a terrible mistake before when he said coal. I said, you have to always precede it by saying clean, beautiful coal. He made a speech once, and it was a great speech, but he took me very much, you know, at the word. He said, clean, beautiful coal. He mentioned coal about 40 times, and he kept saying, clean, beautiful coal. I said, okay, that's enough, that's enough. But it needs a little public relations help, but it doesn't need so much anymore. We're producing more coal now than just about ever before. It's firing up our great plants, and certain types of plant. There's, you know, nothing like it. And we were out of that business. If you would have seen the people suffer, and some of you were those people. I believe some of you were the people, but this great big coal deposits, and you couldn't touch them. If you touched them, you were like a bad person. They put you in jail. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And, you know, China's smart, and they're using coal. They're building 58 coal plants right now, generating plants, all coal. They don't have too much wind. You know, they sell us wind turbines, but they don't use too many of them, so it's because they're smart. They sell them, but they don't use them. They have one that's pretty big. Does it work? It just is for purposes of show. When they go to look at a turbine, they go and show them, and here we are, but they never work. So it's crazy. But clean, beautiful coal is something special. It's all very special, and we're back in the mining business, and I'm very proud of the country. I'm very proud of what you do. You really do. I said before walking in, these are the people that really built America, and you were not treated properly, but we're making up for lost time. You're being treated very properly right now. So I just want to thank everybody. Great honor to be with you. Thank you. Congratulations. Today, on National Purple Heart Day, we express our tremendous gratitude to every American warrior and veteran who has received the Purple Heart, a great honor. The Purple Heart goes back 244 years to when General George Washington gave 3 gallant patriots of the War for Independence a purple cloth for their bravery. It was a very big deal at the time, and it's even bigger now. Today, this decoration commemorates the courage, sacrifice, and grit of men and women from every service who have given their flesh and blood and even their lives in defense of our nation and our beautiful American flag. Nearly 2 million Americans have received the Purple Heart for their sacrifice in the line of duty. And on this special occasion, our nation proudly says thank you to these immortal American heroes. 2 years ago, after an assassin tried to take my life in Butler, Pennsylvania, I was deeply moved at how Purple Heart recipients from across the country kindly sent me their own Purple Heart ribbons. It was so unbelievable. That included ribbons from war heroes, including Navy veteran Daniel Peterson, Army veteran John Ford, who was wounded 3 times, and Marine Corps veteran Thomas Mateo, who was wounded 6 times. These cherished ribbons were earned by our brave warriors through valor on battlefields all over the world. Today, they are displayed outside the Oval Office in the West Wing of the White House in honor of the courage that keeps America safe and free. Our country could not exist without those patriots willing to shed their blood for all of us. Today, we say God bless them, God bless our military, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Once again, here we are in the Oval Office. President Trump is righting another wrong.
By officially terminating the Biden administration's ridiculous regulations imposing costly requirements on refrigerators and air conditioners.
What was going to happen with refrigeration was a train wreck. The manufacturers were not even going to be able to keep up with it. It has helped us so much.
Today's actions are saving over $2.4 billion for American families.
It's tremendous. It's going to keep costs down, keep costs from going up, and we really appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thanks to today's reforms, the American people have lower grocery prices, cheaper transportation of goods, lower costs of air conditioning, at no detriment at all to our country.
Thank you so much for your action to roll back burdensome regulations.
Thank you, Mr. President, for rolling back the damaging EPA effects that was hurting the grocery industry.
You're really trying to help small business grocers stay in business and have low grocery prices. So thank you so much.
The Trump EPA, we are proudly implementing President Trump's agenda every single day and delivering for the American people.
Today, America wakes. 250 years later, as a light for those seeking hope. A republic entrusted to its people idea that changed the world. A nation worth preserving. A dream worth pursuing. Freedom defended by every generation. The story continues. With this dawn, the next chapter begins.
I hope that everyone finally got to enjoy their entire, very delicious beef tenderloins, very special beef. And I want you all to know that Bobby Kennedy, who's right here, personally ran over the cow in his car. And he cut it up and he brought it here for you to eat tonight, so it's very fresh. And Bobby also suggested an appetizer featuring his favorite cut of male raccoon roadkill. But we drew the line at that, Cheryl. We said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. We love Bobby. I'll tell you, it is a piece of work. You think it is fun, but he is a very different kind of a person, I will tell you.
For decades, Americans were lied to about their health.
Get Kellogg's new Sugar Smacks.
Behind closed doors, special interests thrive.
It's a better cigarette.
While the health of our nation collapsed.
There is grim news today about the state of America's health.
76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease.
Rates of obesity have continued to rise over the last few decades.
8 out of 10 of our kids cannot qualify for military service. This is a national security issue.
A new study shows thyroid cancer and kidney cancer are on the rise among American children.
When my uncle was president, we spent $0 on chronic disease. Today, we spend $1.3 trillion.
Autism rates have hit a record high, according to new CDC data released this week.
Chronic disease ran rampant. Our children's health was put at risk, and Washington stood by and watched.
Senator, you presided here, I think, for 32 years. You presided over the destruction of the health of the American people.
Well,
our people are now the sickest people in the world.
Seriously.
Because you have not done your job.
But the American people demanded change. They voted to take back their health.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., we're joining forces to defeat government corruption, restore free speech, and make America healthy again. We're going to make America healthy again, you know?
Under President Trump and Secretary Kennedy's leadership, the movement to make America healthy again has begun and made historic progress. At the Department of Health and Human Services, the greatest minds have come together to end regulatory capture and fix what Washington broke. But most importantly, to end the chronic disease epidemic. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya at NIH, Dr. Marty McCary at FDA, Dr. Mehmet Oz at CMS, and Secretary Kennedy leading the charge at HHS. Together, this all-star team is rebuilding America's health with historic wins. We're stopping the use of taxpayer dollars to buy junk food that makes Americans sick. Nearly 100 MAHA bills have been passed in states across the country. We're ending the loophole that lets untested chemicals sneak into your food. We're restoring mothers' trust by removing heavy metals from baby formula. We're bringing honesty back to vaccine safety. No politics, no profits, no mandates, just transparency, informed patient consent, and real gold standard science. We're investigating the root causes of autism, delivering answers to the families the government has long avoided. We're rewriting America's dietary guidelines to put health, not industry, first. We're cleaning up America's food. No more toxic dyes, only safe, natural ingredients. We're restoring honesty in drug ads so Americans get facts, not Big Pharma's deceptive spin. We launched a new transparency tool to restore integrity and trust back to the organ procurement and transplantation network. Under President Trump's direction, we're using data and AI to fast-track diagnostics, treatments, and cures for pediatric cancer, because every child deserves a chance to grow up. MAHA isn't about party lines and politics. It's about the health of our nation, our children, and our future. So join us. Take back your health, and together, we can make America healthy again.
Please join me in welcoming Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
Today, HHS and the Department of Education are announcing several major reforms that will help reshape the future of American medicine. First, 9 of the nation's leading medical accreditors, certifying boards, testing organizations, and educational institutions are taking concrete action to put nutrition back where it belongs, at the center of medical education. Our next big announcement is of equal importance. 19 additional medical schools have signed the Trump administration's nutrition education pledge, committing to provide at least 40 hours of nutrition education or an equivalent. With these commitments, 73 medical schools across the country have now joined the pledge. That's not a symbolic achievement, it is a structural change.
It is a privilege to recognize an additional 19 medical schools stepping up to strengthen nutrition education. Because to make America great again, we first must make it healthy.
It's incumbent upon us to make the next generation of clinicians aware and activated when it comes to these issues, to give a framework for how to prevent disease by allowing things like nutrition to prosper.
One of the most remarkable aspects of this initiative for me really is that it recognizes something we all see every day in our clinical work and in our communities. Nutrition is not a side issue in healthcare. It's fundamental to many of the things that we need to have a healthy lifespan.
Education drives practice, practice drives outcomes, and outcomes determine the health of a nation. That's why today's commitments represent one of the most important course corrections in modern American medicine.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS Secretary. I'm here today at the Atlantic City Boys and Girls Club. I'm here with 2 legends from WWE, Cody Rhodes and Paul Triple H Levesque, who I'm honored to have as co-chair of the Presidential Council on Physical Fitness. And one of our announcements is we are relaunching the Presidential Council on Physical Fitness today, so that every student in America is going to be able to participate as they were in my generation, and many of us from that generation still have our patches from participating in the Presidential Physical Fitness Test. We're also announcing a new website, getactive.gov/kids. Go to the website to find out how you can get your child active and how you can participate in these events.
This is an incredible opportunity that Secretary Kennedy has presented to the youth of America. This is your calling, to get out there, to get active, to get healthy. It's not about what you can do right now. It's about what you can get through hard work and dedication.
This is a wonderful opportunity of MEW. I'm sure Triple H doesn't mind me saying. Fully on board with this, excited about it. We're going to be the absolute best partners. It's not a school exam. It's not pass, fail. It's about challenging yourself, turning off screens, going outside, having fun, again, competing with yourself. And physical fitness is so important to our future, to the generation now. I'm excited to be here. Thank you very much. You've heard the website. Go there, get started, get at it.
These are hard-working people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who came in. And he's going to help make America healthy again.
Are you supportive of these onesies?
Now we're talking about doing something.
Boxing champion Mike Tyson is teaming up with the Maha movement.
We're phasing out 8 common artificial food dyes.
He told us to fix it, and we are now fixing it.
Operation Stork Speed.
President Trump has directed me to find out what is causing the autism epidemic.
He is removing the CDC's recommendation for children and healthy pregnant women to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Now we're talking about doing something. Doing something. Doing something. Doing something.
We've just signed 6 more waivers on SNAP.
The nation's biggest retailer embracing the Maha movement.
You're now seeing reforms that have been discussed for 35 years. Your drug costs will be plummeting downward. It's called Most Favored Nation.
These are massive wins for the American people.
My sister's name was Denise. She died of obesity at 25. She had a heart attack. I was so fat and nasty. I would eat anything. I was like 345 pounds. A quart of ice cream every hour. I had so much self-hate when I was like that. I just wanted to kill myself. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we have the most obese, fudgy people. Something has to be done about processed food in this country.
Donald was the young man who was going to conquer Manhattan.
He takes chances that would make a less daring man shudder.
To think about the arc of where he's been in, it's like some sort of mythical story or something.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me.
Donald Trump seems to always get stronger when challenged.
My God, that guy's got resilience.
Those who deal with you underestimate you and live to regret it.
It's always good to be underestimated. It is not about politics. It's about our love for this great country, America, and we're not going to let it fail. I will fight like no one has ever fought before.
Trump is the bodyguard of Western civilization.
You want to talk about a fighter, a walk through fire? He's an absolute savage.
He knows that this is much bigger than him. This is about the American people. They have no idea what they have unleashed. He was ready to go face the cameras and come out swinging.
What will future Americans say we did in our brief time here on Earth? It will be defined by your vision, your perseverance, and your grit. Nothing will sway us, nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us. We are Americans. Ambition is our heritage. Greatness is our birthright, and the future belongs to us.
The story of Kennedy and Trump has changed the course of history forever. August 23, 2024 will forever be known as the day we turned the corner and took back our great nation and changed the course of history and brought hope to a free world. Join me as we relive the strange relationship between Kennedy and Trump leading to their return to the White House to make America healthy and great again. I spent 2 years following the Kennedy and Trump campaigns. Long before the two men ever considered running for president, Kennedy sued Trump and stopped him from building a golf course near the Hudson River. After Trump won the presidency in 2016, he recruited Kennedy to look into vaccine safety issues. Kennedy was forced out the door after clashing with a man by the name of Anthony Fauci. But the assassination attempt on President Trump's life brought Kennedy and Trump closer than ever. From rivals to collaborators, from foes to friends, this is the story of Kennedy and Trump. You can download the book for free right now by going to kennedy&trump.com. That's kennedy&trump.com. My name is Greg Fernandez Jr. God bless you all.